steps I take from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil. Channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness. I could feel changes, turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
What's going on, everybody? Yo, Rob, what's up, my brother? How are you?
What's up? What's up? What's going on, Steve? What's going on, Locked In Podcast? Good to be back.
Man. Yeah, man. Good to have you back, brother. Good to have you back, man. Looking good, man. Looking swole.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Man. Yeah, dude. How's everything going, brother?
Huh?
How's everything going, my brother?
Everything's going well, man. Can't complain. Work's been crazy. Business has been crazy, but you know, another day on the earth, man. Another day to achieve these goals. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Blessed, bro. Hey, man. Busy's good, bro. Busy's good. You know, when you're going after the right things, bro. Busy's definitely good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. So tonight, what we're talking about, we're gonna be talking about. Well, number one, somebody brought this to my attention this week. So actually, it was Desi. She was like, because like I had a buffer week because my buddy Tyler is supposed to come on. He's been so busy. He has a daughter and like his wife and everything. So it's been tough, but I'm gonna get him on eventually. This was like a buffer week. So Desi actually had the idea. She's like, you know, it's men's health awareness month. And to be honest, I didn't even really know that. I was like, oh wow, like but the importance of men's health is so important, man, because like men are like known to die like 5 years earlier. All the stress that we have in life, man, all the stuff that's put on our backs, we don't talk about it a lot. And it's not even just mental, but it's like physical health too. But men are told, you know, suppress their feelings, all this stuff, kind of, you know, we kind of just get up every day, grind. Not saying that women don't have their own challenges to bear, childbirth, other things like that, obviously, but I'm just saying, you know, men, you know, we have a lot to deal with. We don't really talk about it as much. You know what I mean? We're more so just supposed to, you know, get up and, you know, another day, you know, get up. It's like, hey, you know, just go after it. But I think we're becoming definitely more aware today of not just men's physical, but also mental health, things of that nature. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, guys. As you know, Rob, returning guest to the podcast, OG. You know, we had a couple other people lined up, and a couple of them were tentative, so they're not going to be able to make it tonight. And then the other one who was locked to come on has something come up, so he's not going to be here either. But it'll be the two of us. Keep it about 35, 40 minutes. Just kind of go through, the importance of men's health, mental and physical. And then we'll also, I'll discuss some things maybe I do, tactics, to kind of focus on my own self-care because I think it's very important. Everybody's got their own routines, but it's definitely important to take some time to do a couple things you enjoy, for sure, amongst the craziness of life.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, I'm sure you can relate, man. Life is so busy, bro. Like every single day flies by when you have a shit ton of things going on in your life. So it's definitely important to carve out that little bit of time to get that self-care in for sure and be able to kind of recharge your battery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree, man. Everything is built on the foundation of, health, and your whether it's spiritual health, mental health, physical health. Everything is built on that foundation. You have all the money in the world, but you don't have that grounded foundation. It means nothing. So, yeah, that like you were saying, we gotta take care of ourselves, mentally, physically, spiritually, in any ways. We gotta focus on the self, and you focus on that. Your foundation is good. You can build on top of it and achieve the goals that you like.
Absolutely, man. Health, like you said, you couldn't have said it better, man. Health is paramount. Without the structure of health, and a lot of times people think like physical health, which is very, very important, but also mental. You have to stay mentally strong as well. But without health, if you're not in good health, you can't really take care of the other areas of your life. So health is paramount. It's kind of that foundation at the bottom. Like you got a building here and everything else is like your whole life, your purpose, your grind, your mission, your family, everything else around you. But that foundation at the bottom, that's the health. That's your health. And so if you don't take care of your own health, both mental and your physical health, it's very difficult for you to achieve your other goals in life. So
Very
very
true.
important indeed.
Especially for
Uh,
the fathers out there. Father's Day is coming up. A
yeah,
lot of the fathers be out here grinding for their family, doing everything they can to make sure their family's good and protected. While that is a noble and great thing, fathers will have to prioritize their mental and physical health, because you can't pour water in your family's cup if you don't have no water in your own cup. You can't
hmm
pour from an empty cup, so you got to make sure your cup is full. And I know a lot of fathers who just neglect themselves and focus on the family. Like I said, it's a noble thing, but it's not in the long run. It won't benefit your family if you're not alive. So gotta focus on that.
exactly. And a lot of us men are built on like nobility. We always want to try to, sacrifice for others and do everything else and be kind of hardwired that way. But it's very important. If you don't recharge your own batteries, you don't take care of yourself. It's like you can't give everything. You can't give your all to the situation because eventually you're just gonna burn out. It's just
Yes.
inevitable that that's gonna happen. So, um, yeah, like you said, it's noble to try to do that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make you any less of a fantastic father for taking that little bit of time that's needed, whether it be daily, weekly, whatever it is that you enjoy and things that are going to be positive, make positive impacts on your life. Do those small things. Some people think meditating, maybe for the mental state. Some people say, hey, going to the gym is their safe haven. It's an opportunity to escape and, hit the iron for a little bit and do some strength training. Maybe it's going for a walk or a run, getting out in nature. And even for some people, some dads, it's just, playing video games a couple of hours and stuff. A lot of people like, will say that video games aren't going to, it's not going to make a change. Yeah, but sometimes it's just that little bit of escape. Now, I think video games can be bad if you're playing video games 8 hours a day and you're neglecting your purpose and your family and everything like that. But sometimes that little bit to just escape for a little bit, have an opportunity to kind of do something that you enjoy is very, very important
Hmm.
in the busyness of today's day and age.
Hmm.
For sure.
Very true. Very true. Like
Very
everybody
important.
has a different escape, their different ways to like relax or de-stress. Yeah, so if video games is your thing, hey, by all means, like, just don't do it too much. But hey, if that's your thing to de-stress, everybody's different. So, as long as at the end of the day your mental health is taken care of, I think that's what's paramount.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very important. Now that I think about it, I think it's maybe that's strategically why now that you bring up Father's Day, this Sunday. So shout out to all the dads out there. Happy early Father's Day this Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
maybe that's the reason why they strategically made it in June. That'd actually be a good reason to do it. You know what I mean? It's that it actually kind of ties in. Not all men are fathers, obviously, but it's a good month to have it. Father's Day around the corner. Like you said, not taking anything away from the moms, but the dad. A lot of women are kind of allowed to kind of open up more about their feelings. That's the one thing I will say. Not saying that there's not single mothers out there that aren't working hard and stuff like that, but there's fathers in the same position. But I will say this, like men, we're kind of hardwired to not talk as much about our feelings. And I think now we're becoming more aware of this. This is becoming something that everybody, so we're opening platforms and outlets for men to talk about this more. Which is very, very important. I actually saw some statistics. So it was saying like on the physical side of things, men are not, men's health is like important in general, but some of the statistics here, physical wise, it says men are at higher risks for a lot of diseases than women are. So things like heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes. They're 8 out of the 10 leading causes of death for men are in those things right there. And they also say, like I was saying earlier, men on average die 5 years earlier than women do. And like I said, it's a lot of it probably is the stress and kind of piling up and the burden of not talking about things. It's like, that's why I say, like, to any of my brothers out there, if they're ever going through something, you know what I mean? Reach out to me. I'd much rather, I know it's a cliche saying at this point, but I'd much rather hear you vent about something, or talk to me about something than have to see your obituary or hear your funeral. You know what I mean? Like I'd much rather have you reach out to me. So, even with everything I got going on, I'll find some time,
100% agree. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I feel like we're human too. Men are human too. Men have emotions.
Yes.
I was talking to a girl. She was just saying like, "Oh, I didn't know men really had emotions." I'm just like, "What?"
We're all human beings. Oh wow, yeah, my boy Rob. So anybody who's watching out there, I guess Rob fell off for a second, but we'll be back on. Rob's point's good, solid there. I'll pick it back up as Rob comes back on here. We're all human beings, right? Men ain't, biologically, maybe we're different than women. Obviously, women are usually a lot of times more emotional than men. But men have emotions. We were born in God's image and likeness. I don't know if you're Christian, you believe in God, whatever religion, whatever. But I will say this: we're human beings, so we're all built with emotion. Maybe we're not quite as emotional as women, but I do know some men who are very emotional. So that could kind of maybe not the average, but I know some men that are very emotional. So, but at the end of the day, we're human beings. We have emotions, and we're just hardwired a lot of times to not talk about it. But I am glad that there has been a lot of outlets for men over the past few years that has allowed them to really be able to talk about these things. Some women will tell you, like, I sometimes I think it's healthy to have open dialogue with your partner. So women a lot of times will vent to their man, right? Now, I do, and some women will probably kind of challenge me on this one, but I do say this. I don't think there's anything wrong with certain things venting to your brothers around you, which is why I think it's good to have strong male role models and friends around you. You can kind of vent to with certain things. Now, I think that you shouldn't not vent at all to your woman. I think healthy communication under her allowing your woman to kind of understand the situation. But I have seen it happen where, and any women out there, feel free to chime in. If a man is overly venting and emotional to his woman, I've seen them leave in that situation because they're like, this is like me dealing with another girlfriend. Like, dealing with, what I mean? Like this guy, I need this guy to be my rock, and he's out here complaining all the time. Now, that's the thing. Like, I think with certain things, just be careful of how much you overly vent. And some people will say, oh, that's such a shame to mention that. I think that's just the dynamic. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do think it's important to have people around you, though, whether it's family, certain things, have people that you can talk to. That's why I say any of my brothers in my circle, reach out to me. Me and Rob, we're both busy gentlemen. We're both like-minded. And that's why Rob's one of my very, 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 very close brothers. But I always say, no matter what we got going on, purpose, grind, I'm trying every single day to find new ways to grow, new ways to level up. And that's not to brag. It's just being realistic. There's only 24 hours in a day and 168 in a week. You find, you sacrifice a little sleep here, you sacrifice a little sleep there, or you sacrifice something else here. You're trying to work on your health. You're trying to strengthen the relationships around you. You're trying to work on your grind, your purpose, your business, leveling up your money, whatever it is. Still, I will find time for those close to me or just people inside my circle who, talk to me. You got something you're going through, talk to me. And I've spent times talking to some of my boys, about things they're struggling with. And we've spent time and I vent to them and, they vent to me and, we've had that. I think it's important in a relationship too, to have that communication too. If you have a partner, you have a partner you can't talk to at all. Like I would really question if you're in a healthy relationship. I'm not sure if Rob is going to pop back in, but if not, that's okay. I kind of want to keep this podcast to about 8:30. I don't want to go too long here. But I'm just going to walk through some of the tactics that maybe I do. Maybe if Rob comes back on, we'll pick up our conversation here. So I see there's people in the chat. Well, not in the chat, but I see there's people in the viewership right now. They're watching. Shout out to you guys. I do have to look at Facebook because StreamYard is still. It's not really StreamYard. It's more so Facebook is with the BS. So it's they what they're doing right now is they're making it a lot more strict to stream from secondary sources. So I know the public page is not working, but we do have the private. Okay, so the private group, there's no comments. Just wanted to check them out because I can't put them up here on the screen. If you are watching on YouTube, though, which I do see there are a few people on YouTube right now, shout out to you guys. If you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button. This channel is growing. We've grown in the last week. I think we've grown like 30 subscribers. So we're starting to get some traction here. We're starting to get some stuff, great stuff going. And there's just going to be better content kind of coming out as we kind of progress through this summer. I'm really excited. There's a restructure, a rebrand going on behind the scenes. George is still my boy, is my brother. But we kind of parted ways on that front. We'll discuss that more in terms of the podcast relationships. George still does some stuff behind the scenes, but mainly it's me running the show, and I'm kind of rebranding this going forward. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong there. I don't want to kind of make that a whole discussion here, but that's something I will talk about going forward. I am excited, though. I'm excited for the brand of this future, and I'm very, very grateful for the time that I've spent with George, building this podcast up, when we started this thing, because me and George started this together. So humbly, very grateful for the experiences. I'm grateful for the opportunity to, not just work with him, but meet people through him. So great opportunity. But yeah, so kind of circling back to the topic here. Men's health. We don't talk about it enough. I think that Rob made a great point that Father's Day is around the corner. So I think that maybe that is the reason why they made it this month. Also, I want to tell you guys, I'll keep on with that topic and then I'll kind of circle back. I don't want to go into too many different directions here. Father's Day is around the corner. So as I said, shout out to all the fathers out there. June 16th. Yeah, this Sunday. Spend some time with your dad if he's around, if he's in the area, even if he's not close. FaceTime him, say hi to your loved ones, and make sure you cherish them. Even if you're in a bad spot, try to, I don't know what the circumstances are, but, if it's small things, try to put those things aside and cherish your loved ones. You just don't know how long you have them. So shout out to all the dads out there, and shout out to all my brothers who are dads too. A lot of my boys are fathers out there. So I know you guys are working hard for your families, and I see y'all, and I respect it. You're doing what you can. So good stuff there. So now, not straying from the topic, just going because I wanted to finish my point there. Tom Vaughan, a good friend of mine, had a little speech that he wanted me to read on here tonight, and he's someone who has struggled with mental and physical health, as late as late April, and then in early May, he was at one of the lowest points in his life. It wasn't that long ago. It was a little over a month ago, and Thomas has really transformed his life in the last month. Now, every single day, he's still building the foundations and habits to kind of change his mental health here and his physical health. So he's lost weight. He's been I'll read his stuff in a second. It's long, and some of it, Tom, if you're watching out there, it's a little personal. So let me see. Yo, Zach, what's going on, brother? What's up, brother? Thank you for supporting the podcast, my guy. How is it out there on the West Coast, man? How's everything going? So Tom is has had some stuff that he wanted me to cover here. It's long, and Tom, if you're watching, some of the stuff that you put in there, I just because it's a little personal, I don't want to air that out all here tonight. If you come on the podcast in the future, feel free to talk. I just don't, for some of the stuff, feel completely comfortable putting all your stuff out there. But I'll read some of the speech here. Tom, essentially, he's someone who was struggling with mental health up until the last month and a half. He couldn't make it here tonight in person, but he wanted me to read some of the stuff that he has. So I'm going to go to Tom's thoughts while we have a buffer period while Rob is trying to come back on here. So he wrote a lot of stuff. So Tom's been through a lot of traumatic events. Some of them have happened fairly recently. Essentially, I'll break it down in a general form instead of reading everything word for word. He's feeling stronger than ever at the moment because of these trials and tribulations that he's gone through. Shout out to Tom. If you guys don't know who Tom is, Tom's an OG to this podcast. He's been on multiple times. He hadn't been on in over a year, but he did come on a few weeks back. It was episode 173 that I have right here. It was a couple weeks ago. He was on here for 173. We talked about the Eagles and the schedule released the prediction. So Tom was on here. Check that out. He essentially had some friendships around him that were very toxic. And for the longest, I think a lot of people, there were a few people that were telling him to kind of, get, the relationship, those friendships were kind of toxic. Tom has cut those friendships off. It got really dark, really bad. And these people that were around him wanted nothing but like trouble for him. They didn't want any positive thing for him. Essentially, going back to the past, anytime he had a potential person, say a girl he was interested in talking to, starting a relationship with, dating, whatever, hooking up, he'd have like this one guy friend in the group, and he would essentially try to sabotage it because he would try to either, try to take her for himself, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, real friends don't do that. Real friends do not act like that. So that's just one instance, but it gets a lot darker, a lot deeper. Financial issues, different things kind of went into it. Essentially, Tom has cut these people off, and it took a lot for him to do it. There was a lot that kind of went into it. Tom at one point was struggling with prescription medication and alcohol. I didn't know, personally that Tom was struggling with the prescription medication side. He would tell me some things about alcohol in the past. So I'm really glad he's completely, right now he's sober. He's back to taking his vitamins. He's eating healthy now. He said he's eating a lot healthier. His diet's better. He's getting exercise, getting out, getting sun every single day when the sun's out. And if not, he's out here doing things to change his lifestyle. He's making sure to take his mental health into effect too. He's volunteering in the community. So if you live in Northeast Philadelphia, Tom's working with let me see what a lot of the stuff he's doing. So essentially, Tom said he's rediscovering a lot of the passions that he had when he was younger before he had this friend group. Now, me and some of my boys are friends with Thomas too, but we hadn't heard from him in a little bit. So we still had a connection. Would reach out to Tom, but so this friend circle is not associated with us. Obviously, he said he wants to kind of circle back to us because we were a positive influences in Tom's life, and Tom's my boy. So he said he's rediscovering a lot of the passions that he had, revolving his personal life around things like volunteering in the community. Great thing. This is outside of work and his purpose and everything else. Playing basketball and soccer. I love playing. I've never really been one much for soccer, but I love basketball. What's up, Rob? Welcome back, man.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. My phone crashed.
I
It
figured, bro.
crashed. I was trying
Hey.
to restart it. I finally got it to work.
Man. I appreciate you coming back on, man. I'm like, hey, man, life happens, right?
Technical difficulties.
Always, man. Yeah, it's there's always something, man. So I know Tom, right? The one guy Tom that had been on here a couple weeks ago. He's been on for sports episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
So Tom couldn't make it on tonight, but he did give me some stuff to read. Some of the stuff is a little personal. I just didn't feel comfortable revealing he gave me like a whole speech to read. It's a lot of paragraphs. So I'm just going on like a general level. I told if you're watching, some of the personal stuff I just don't feel comfortable revealing on a live stream. If you want to come on here and reveal some of that stuff, feel free. But Tom essentially was really, really struggling with his mental health. And he was at one of the lowest points of his life up until about late April, early May. The last month, he had some toxic friendships around him for the better half of over a decade. He removed them from his life. He's really, really working to rediscover some of the passions he had when he was younger. And really, he's eating healthier now, getting more exercise, trying to strengthen that mental health as well as the physical health. And he said he's feeling the strongest he's ever felt. So I can tell when I talk to him, like when he was on like leaving me like an audio message or on the phone, I can tell you can tell that he feels like rejuvenated, like just the way he communicates now and stuff. So I'm happy for him.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Yeah, so he's been doing outside of like his work. He works in HVAC, and his purpose and his grind. He said he's been getting back to doing small things like even if it's exercising, playing basketball and soccer, volunteering in the community. He's been doing community cleanups and stuff and community outreach and stuff. So that's a great way actually to meet other people too. Meet actually positive people. But he was saying he's like he always liked our friend group. He's like, I need to stay around positive people like y'all. He's like, I was hanging out with these other people for the longest, and even my brother and some other people have said like, yo, these people like that want like a couple of the dudes in that group, like they don't want what's good for you, man. Like they're just users. They're just users, man. Like they're just trying to use you for anything. Like an example, one of the guys in the group, every single time he had a girl he was talking to, he'd be talk to her too. He would talk to her behind his back and try to take her out from her. I'm like, yo, real boys don't do shit like that.
That is wild.
Yeah. You're gonna sell out your bro code for pussy, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, just keeping it real, like, dude, yo, that's the ultimate code, bro. They tell you what, bro, like the old code, bro. Bros with bros. You just don't break bro code like that.
I just think that's a snake, man. That's just like
Snake.
a guy to do something like that. That tells you about his character, like So I wouldn't keep somebody around me like that. You don't want people around you. And as we're on the topic of mental health, the people around you affect your mental health.
Yes.
So even like I know a lot of people like when they're living in their family home, it affects their mental health. So they want to move out.
Yep.
So your surroundings, your environment greatly affects your mental health. And whatever you got to do to help it, whether it's moving away, moving to another city, another state, like whatever you got to do to make sure that your health is good. Like we said before I went rogue, your health is paramount. So whatever you got to do to make sure that's on point, I will prioritize that.
Absolutely, man. It's important. You see it too. Some people like you might know them for a while, then they live in a family house, then they move out and they're on their own, and their whole entire like mindset and their whole entire personality shifts. It shifts because it's unfortunate, but a lot of times, I would not say it's the norm, but it's not uncommon. I've seen it myself, and I've had family members, luckily not my own parents, thank God, where I've seen it, where they have like narcissistic parents and certain things, and it's like certain very, very toxic traits, and that takes a hell of a lot. It takes a beating on your own mental health. And if you're dealing with that for decades, inside the household, it's super challenging, and it can be very detrimental. So Zach, my boy Zach, I was like saying like Zach Brown from the West Coast, my boy, he wrote and said, "I'm good." He said the weather's been pretty wacky, just lifting, mountain biking, creating content. Not too much going on since I graduated college and transitioned into life. Yeah, it's kind of a weird period once you graduate college. So it's like I think
Yeah.
everybody's expected to have that job lined up and be able to go to that next level. That's actually a good thing I would probably talk about on this podcast because I didn't have my career, I didn't have my dream job, or I wouldn't even say dream job in my field. Because I mean, my dream is to start my own business and stuff like that. But I didn't have my career job for like over a year. Like after I graduated, I didn't have an internship in college or anything. That was probably my own fault. Should have gotten an internship. Didn't have that, but it's a weird period for not for everybody, but for some people when you first graduate. So seems like you're doing good stuff, man. I'm always checking. I'm always seeing your Instagram pop up. So Zach is he's a cancer survivor, but this guy is always posting mountain biking stuff. Like, dude's a beast in the gym. It seems like you're lifting. You're keeping yourself busy, man, and that's fantastic. Doing positive things.
Right. Right. And I think that's a key factor for men, at least men's mental health.
Yeah.
Having some type of goal, some type of purpose, some type of mountain to climb, And men were built that way to want to conquer something, hunt something
Yep.
down, whether it's a goal, whether it's going after a woman. So like if we don't have that aim, I think that's a big problem in the modern age. A lot of men feel kind of like useless, they don't have an aim or a goal. And so they just kind of just, you know, deal with pleasure all the time. But if you have that aim, you have that goal, you have that purpose, you have something to drive for every day. Man, that will get you focused, and then it will keep out all the negativity that affects your mental health.
Absolutely. And you know what they say, man, idle hands are the work of the devil. If you got, you're not doing anything, you're sitting around every day. I see it, you hear about it a lot. People just consuming content, different things like that. People can lead to drug use and everything else. I like it's a big saying, but idle hands are the work of the devil. You got to be very careful when you're
Right,
sitting around with no aim, no mission, no purpose. And that's okay if you don't really know what your mission or purpose is, but
yeah,
it's definitely up to you to figure that out. You
right,
have to soul search a little bit and really, really figure out what makes you happy in this life and what can you do to really make an impact somewhere.
yeah. And for all my young guys, you're not gonna find it out early. You gotta do things to find it out. I
You got to
promise you.
experience life. Yeah.
When I was 21, I had one goal, I had an aim I wanted to do. Now at my age now, it's completely different. After going through life, doing things, trying things out, now I feel like I got my focus. I got
Yep.
exactly what I want to do. I got my alignment. I got my goals for life. So like,
Yep.
or my purpose for life. So it takes time, it takes adventure, it takes experience to really learn what you want to do. So just keep trying things. I always tell my
Yep.
young guys, just do as much thing as possible. Don't miss out on any events. Do it. You're young, you don't have much bills, you don't have children. Do everything. Whether it's mountain climbing, you might have find a passion for mountain climbing by doing it.
Yeah.
Boxing, whether it's joining a robotics club, whatever it is, just do
Yeah.
everything that you can while you're young. So when you get older, you know exactly what you're gonna do. You know what you're good at, you know what you can make money at, you know exactly what you're passionate about.
Yep. And don't let anybody ever like shun you for trying to chase something, and try to do different things. People like that if you got people around you that are shitting on any of your goals you're trying to better and improve your life, then guess what? They're just low hanging fruit anyway. And those type of people are just going to kind of drift off with their own like type of people. Not everybody's meant to be around you too. And I was going to say one thing that can shift your perspective, actually, like you were saying, when you're younger, you have all that time to kind of definitely go after and do all that, do all those extra things. You ain't got those bills, you ain't got all that, you ain't got a family yet,
Hmm.
and all that stuff. So,
Hmm.
if you're in that position, but traveling can shift your perspective too. So even if it's just flying somewhere within the United States, just going somewhere. You've been a traveler this year, man. I've been seeing you,
Hmm.
man. I got to get on your level, man.
Yes, sir. I love traveling.
Dude, I love it, man. You just feel so refreshed when you get back, man. Like, I don't know. It's just like there's something about like catching that flight somewhere and then coming back. And it's like that shift
Hmm.
in perspective, the shift in mindset. It's
Right.
nothing
Just
like
the
it.
new environment, seeing things outside your sphere of influence, seeing people who
Yeah.
move and grew up completely different from you. So
Yeah.
it's just the culture change. It just, it's exciting for somebody who just loves to, see and experience different things. So, and it could lead you to your purpose. That's what I told the young guys. Do as much things as possible. Don't miss out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like if I became a multimillionaire, like a billionaire tomorrow, like I would still would do things to I would still build myself my business and everything and have my purpose, because you got to keep your, you can't, I'm not just going to sit there and lounge the rest of my life. Like I got to have some type of mission. I ain't going to
That's
sit
how you go
around.
back to poor. That's how you
Yeah,
go back to
exactly.
poor.
Exactly. That's why you see all these people with a ton of money still wind up committing suicide. If you don't have any type of mission or any type of goals, there's always goals at different levels of life. But what I would do, if I became sounds like a billionaire tomorrow, I would definitely spend a lot of time traveling, and I would still focus on my physical health, because I like going to the gym, man. I like lifting weights. I would take the, I would have time to do all that, but I would still have a purpose and a mission. It doesn't matter if I have $1 billion tomorrow. I'm not going to be lounging around for the next 50, 60 years of my life doing nothing. Like, you have to, that's what wakes you up every single day. Having a certain mission and goals in life. If you don't have that, what are we really doing here? But
Mm-hmm.
like Rob said, when you're younger, you got the time to figure that out. Even if you're 30, like say you haven't figured it out yet, well, now's the time to do a little bit of soul searching and figure that out, man.
Yes, sir.
You got
Yes,
the time.
sir. Yeah. My mentor always say, in life, you always get infinite redos. As long as you're alive, you have infinite redos.
You
It's
can
not
change
like
your
in
whole life in
school when
6
you
months.
fail. Yeah, when you fail and you can't go back to the class. No. In life, you get infinite redos. Every day is a new redo. So if you're
Yep.
40 and you figure out, I don't want to do this anymore, you can shift. Yes, it is going to be harder for you than a 20-year-old because you have responsibilities, you might have kids. So the shift is not going to be as smooth, but as long as the plan is there, hey, you can make it work.
Yep. You have the plan, a little bit of structure. You can make that work. They say that, in 6 months, your entire life can change in 6 months. Sometimes for the bad, but a lot of times for the good. You put the
Mhm.
work in and you have a plan, you have some structure, you could change your life and you could change your family's life. So, I mean, and the blessed thing is, if you are living here in the United States, you live in the freest country. I always say this: you live in the freest country in the world. Every single day, people say politician
Sure.
this, politician that, and everything else. Yeah, policies, might affect you financially and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you got to wake up and grind for yourself. You can't sit there and blame someone else on the television for
Yes,
what your
sir.
life is turning out to be. You have
Right.
to. And as men, that's what we're literally taught to do. Get your bootstraps up, get up by your bootstraps and just kind of go after it. But I mean, it is true too. You have to, you have opportunity every single day when you wake up.
Yes, sir.
Every single
Yes,
day.
sir. And just to say, man, and life is just different for us as men. We don't get a free ride in a fancy car. It's
Yep.
just how it is. We have to accept that. It's just how we don't get a free ride. You don't see a man in a Lambo because he looks good.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
earned that Lambo.
Yeah.
So we don't get a free ride in a fancy car. We must earn our keep. And that's okay. And that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, it's like you can't sit there and cry about it. Like, I know some people that like blame society for the rest of their life. That's just the way it is, though. But here's the beautiful thing about it. Once you do say you get, say you want a Lambo or a Ferrari, you get your first Lambo, your first Ferrari, and you're doing well in life. It's gonna feel better when you have earned it, because guess what? There's nobody that can come and take that from you. I will say this: like, they tell you, a lot of people say you started a business and you make your first million. A lot of people, Grant Cardone, I think I said this once too. He's like, if I lost everything tomorrow, I'd be a millionaire again. It doesn't matter. Like, because once you learn how to do it, you can do it again. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, once you learn the resilience and the grit that it takes to get there, a lot of times you can just do it again, because
Yes, sir.
you had to earn it.
Yes, sir. And once you earn it, you earn it through your mind. And
Yeah.
once you earn it in your mind, it can't leave you.
Right.
Like Karen Cardone said, he lose all his money, he still has the intelligence and the mental capabilities to get it right back.
Yep.
So once you earn it in the mind, you put the work in, you lose it all, you can get it right back because you have the knowledge to get it back.
Exactly. And that feeling when you get that type of money too, you're like, I want that money. I lose it all tomorrow. I want that feeling back. I'm gonna put that work in. You already got there. So, as Zach said, this podcast spitting facts. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Got to get you back on here soon, man. But But yeah, no, that's I was kind of talking on some of your points too. I know you were saying before you left. I'll circle back to it. You're saying you were talking to a girl the other day. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know men had emotions." It's like at the end of the day, we're all built as human beings. Like men are known to be less emotional than women. But we still got emotions. We're still human beings.
Yes. We experience the same emotions as women, exactly the same. We just handle it
Exactly.
differently. That's it. We just handle it differently.
Exactly. Exactly. We carry, how we carry ourselves is a little bit different. But I was saying, like, we experience sadness, we experience anger, we experience happiness, we experience those same emotions. We were built as human beings. So, our approach is different, but we still have those emotions.
Yes, I guess some women look at us like superhuman, like we don't have emotions, and like it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, why do you think a lot of men sometimes fear rejection? Because it's an emotional, discharge. Men don't want to feel that, and women just think men should just handle it. But like they gotta understand that, men feel that, like they don't want to be rejected as well. But as a
Yeah,
man, you gotta go through it. You gotta go through
exactly.
it and be
Exactly. I
able
have
to
some
handle
women
it.
that say like, "Oh, y'all act like you're so tough. Like y'all don't ever want to tell us stuff when you're in relationships and stuff." But here's the thing. I think it is, and I was saying this like when you were off there. It's I think it is important to have very healthy communication inside of a relationship. But I think that venting, and I've seen it happen. You vent and you complain to your woman too much. I've seen it happen where they wind up leaving because
Yes.
guess what? They see
Yeah.
it and they think of you like almost like another girlfriend. You sit there, you're complaining about your life all the time. Majority of the time, it's the woman venting to the man about their problems and stuff like that. A lot of times, that's why I say like you can have healthy communication, shit, but just watch overdoing it. If there's certain things, talk to. That's why it's important to have your boys, your brothers around you, and have strong male role
Right.
models or friends
Right.
around you, or even
Right.
family members, people you can talk to. Other guys that you can talk to
Right.
about things. And I said that's
Right.
not disrespect. It's not that I don't want to talk. You're in a relationship. That's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just I understand it. I understand that dynamic. I'm okay with that.
100% agree, Steve. And like, while some women may deny it, the more feminist women, but it's okay. The truth is the truth. Women still look through men for strength and leadership. It's
Yes.
just how it is. Why do you think when you see a girl, she sees you, she's waiting for you to approach her? That's you
Yep.
taking leadership to approach her and initiate the conversation. Every woman does it, no matter what country you're in. They all do the same thing.
Yep.
So they look for men for leadership and strength. So if you're nothing, like Steve said, nothing wrong with expressing yourself to your woman, talk to your woman, nothing wrong with being vulnerable. But like too much of it is not ideal, to be honest. Like imagine the CEO of your company is crying at his desk. What are you thinking? You're like, oh man, I'm gonna lose my job, and you're gonna
No.
panic. Like,
Exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
kind of the same dynamic. So your woman's looking for you to leadership and strength, and you're crying, don't know what to do. She's like, oh no, and then a lot of women jump ship.
Yep.
I'm telling
Yep.
you, they
Not
will
every
jump
woman is a
ship.
ride or die. They're just going to sit around.
Yeah,
They're going to see that
some of
one
them,
little bit.
yeah. So there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself, but just like I said, you don't want to see the CEO of your company crying that he failed the company. Then you're gonna be like, oh no. Imagine how you will feel. So it's kind
Exactly.
of the
You're like, oh
same.
shit, this company's in turmoil. I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta put my resume back out there. I gotta find
Yeah.
another job.
Yeah, you want your CEO to always be confident. Always, you want to see him and see like, hey, we got this. We're going forward. We're
Yep.
big. We're growing the company. You always want to see that from the CEO of your company. Or if you're the CEO,
Yep.
your employees always want to see that from you. They don't want to see you scared or like crying, like, oh no, you don't know what to do. So I
Yeah.
just
And
that's
tough
the
times
dynamic.
happen. So, in a relationship, in a business, anything, it's like, hey, we hit a tough time. Let's figure this out. It's got to be like that in a relationship dynamic, though, too. You got to be careful with it because, it's like, when tough times hit, the man is going to be expected to be the rock, the foundation.
Hmm.
You're supposed to be there through tough times and be strong. And I like your point there. You can be vulnerable, but just be careful overdoing it because I've seen it happen. I've seen women jump ship like that. Not even like I've seen other ones stick around a little longer, but if they're real ones, you know what I mean? They're ride or dies. But I've seen other ones, boom, just jump ship like that, like just a little
Hmm.
bit of weakness, and they're out. I've literally Anytime I've ever really known, like, in women, y'all can confirm this, but a lot of women I've ever known, like, whether it be cousins or just friends or people I've known over the years, they'll complain about their girlfriends bitching and venting to them. Like, like I'll see it myself. They'll be like, "Oh my god, like she won't shut up." It's like, I've seen it myself. Like they complain about their own friends, like complaining, like this another girl. Like
Right. Right.
I've seen it. So that's yeah. So as men though, that's why I said, like, even in tough times though, like if there's certain things you don't want to overdo it and stuff, that's why it's important to have good male role models around you too,
Yes.
that you can
Yes.
talk to through tough times.
I would rather vent to my boys, my close circle, you know, my father, like if you want to be like,
Yeah.
even if you're crying to your boys, your father, that
Yep.
would be like, that would be more ideal. Not saying can't cry to your woman, but like I said, to be more ideal to cry to your male friends that are close, that respect you, or your father, or things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I've had some of my boys, that go through some stuff. Like my one boy called me up not too long ago, and he's got a wife and kids and stuff. He called me up, and we were just chatting and stuff. But it's just to kind of vent and stuff like that. So it's like, it's that's what I always say. I'm like, even throughout, like, we only have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. Yeah, I'll find some time. You know what I mean? Call me up. Text me, whatever. Like, hey, can I
Yeah,
give you a call around this time? I'll find some time. You know what I mean? It's important.
yeah,
To be able
very
to try.
important. And that's
For
one of the biggest problems now with men's mental health. A lot of men are isolated. You
Yeah.
can't be isolated in this world. Like a lone wolf dies. You
Yep.
gotta have a pack. You gotta have other men around you that share the same values, that you can talk to. You can chop it up when you can, talk about your problems, talk about your wins, and they don't hate on you. They celebrate you. So
Yep.
you need a pack like that. I feel like every man needs that. And the problem with the modern age, a lot of men are isolated with their phones, or video games, and just stay away from other groups. And that's how we've evolved to run in packs. So definitely need that.
Exactly. Even if you're more of an introverted person, push that barrier and push that comfort zone. You need to have at least a friend or two in your life. You can't be
Yes,
by yourself and
one or
have
two
nobody.
guys.
I've seen it personally, man. Like, just I've seen it actually very recently. I don't want to, out say any names, but just like I've seen like one dude. He's like 24. He like lost, like losing his mind because, like, you see on social media and different things, because this dude's like he's isolated. He don't have nobody. It's important. You need to
Yeah,
have.
that's very bad.
Yeah, it's like if you don't put yourself out there though and try to make friends, you have to have people around you. Like, um it's important. You can't be on an island. You're on an
Yeah,
island by yourself. Um and that's important too. Go where you're appreciated too. Like you said, people gonna celebrate your wins. Like Thomas was saying, go where you're actually appreciated, not where you're tolerated. Where you're
right.
just tolerated. Those type of people, they'll tolerate you, but secretly, like, they plotting on your downfall. They don't actually care.
Yeah,
You become
yeah,
successful, they're hating and stuff. They hate on you and stuff. As soon as you get a little bit of success, instead of being like, I'm happy for that person, and be like, yo, what can I learn from my boy? Like, oh, look at, like, my boy's like doing well. Like, what can you learn and grow? And like, we're all here together. They rather hate, and it happens with
right,
women too. Women
right,
that are bitter and like when her friends
right,
start to well.
right. And it's not that hard to find a band of men that you share values with, that
Yeah,
you can have in your pack, so to say, just based off interests. Like me, boxing, I have a group of guys that I box with.
yeah,
I have a group of guys that I live with. I have a group of guys that I do business with. It's like, it's easy. Like, man, we bond based on collaboration
yeah.
and work. So whatever we're doing, whatever like collaboration we're doing, whether it's boxing, gym, basketball, that's how you bond and find other men that can kind of fit your values. So it's really not that hard. Just gotta put yourself out there.
Exactly. That's the key. That's the key right there. Put yourself out there. Nobody's gonna come to you. You're not gonna, like, nobody's gonna come and knock on your door and just like you're isolated inside your home and just gonna knock on your door and be like, yo, like, reach out to you,
Nah, I
so
promise you, no.
Yeah. Men aren't gonna approach like how men approach women. Like they ain't gonna be approaching like
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
approach
be
you.
approaching like fellas out there. They gonna be like that. You put yourself
Unless he wants something from you, I promise you, he's not
out.
approaching you just to be your friend.
I know it's like, hey buddy, how you doing? And it's like, yo, can I borrow like 20? Well, yo, can I hold 20 bucks?
Yeah.
That's what people always coming back from the past, like people you haven't talked to in like 10 years, reaching out. It's like, oh, I haven't talked to you since high school. Like
He wants something, I promise you.
always. It's crazy. You got sometimes people got family members like that too. It's a shame.
Yeah.
But guys, mental health, physical health, very important, and I'm glad that more awareness is being spread for men because it's important for both men and women. But a lot of times when people think mental health, they think like women. It's like, yo, men have mental health issues too. So it's I'm glad that they're having that having something that's more spreading more awareness for this, and we're providing more outlets.
Very true. And
Definitely
no
important.
matter what society tells you, man, you guys, we the foundation of society, really. Like society runs because of men. So you gotta take care of your mental health. You guys are important. Take care of your physical health. Your family's relying on you, your woman's relying on you. If you have children, your children's relying on you. So prioritize that. And yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all and happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there, people in my family, just anybody out there, friends, happy Father's Day. I know y'all are holding it down. I guess with that being said, guys, I guess we can wrap up in a couple minutes. We went right to the 51-minute mark. Glad you were able to come back in, bro. And appreciate you taking the time to come on, man, because if it wasn't for you, bro, I'd be doing this one solo tonight, but that'd be all right. I was like, if I had to, I was like, it's all right. I know people all tune in. Like we just had I could see like the viewers were tuning in and stuff, and then on Facebook too. Let me just real quick because there's something going on. Like a couple of weeks ago, they started doing something with Facebook got strict, so can't really put any Facebook comments on the screen. But let me see if anybody commented. Okay, no, there were no comments on Facebook, just to address, just in case. But yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on, my man.
Yes, sir. Of course. And this is an important topic. I prioritize this topic. I think it's a great topic. So made the time to come over and support the bros, of course.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. To everybody else out there, thanks for if you commented in or just watched, whatever, hit the like button, whatever. I appreciate y'all. If you're watching this on like the rebroadcast after the live stream, that's fine too. And still feel free to comment in because I still will comment back and address your comments, even though I can't put them on the screen after the live stream. Appreciate you guys. I was saying the podcast has been growing a little bit on YouTube. Had like 30 plus subscribers in the last week. So we're growing, getting some traction, seeing some gains.
Sir.
So I'm excited for the future and outlook, man.
Yes, sir, man. Keep working hard at it, Steve, man. I respect your perseverance and consistency with this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Also, guys, our boy Rich too. I saw Rich is starting a clothing brand too. So go on the Facebook page if you haven't. It's called Active Rain. I'll actually I'll put it in here after the stream ends, so you guys can kind of see. So I know Rich is getting started. Rich Mitchell, who's an OG to this podcast too. He's starting up the clothing brand. See, that's what it's all about, man. Trying to hype each other up and that's the thing. We're all trying to win out here. We're all trying to eat. So I love to see the bros making moves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, all right, my brother. I'll take off here, but thanks again for coming on, man. Everybody else out there, thank you as well, and have a great night, guys.
Appreciate y'all. Be safe, everyone.
Take care, bro.